This is Ryan Abraham, Chris Trevino, USCFootball.com. Instant analysis from fall camp day one of the Lincoln Riley era. 7 a.m. practice, Chris. We had USC Media Day yesterday. You might have saw our instant analysis from just over there. From that, where we talked to a lot of players and coaches over at Heritage Hall. Then we have a quick turnaround. You get to work done at night and then wake up super early. I know you were here super early, checking out practice. So it's a little different feel having a 7 a.m. practice, Chris.
Yeah, I went to bed and it was dark, and I woke up. It was just as dark as when I went to bed. Yeah, I was here at 6 a.m., just wanted to get the feel. Obviously, it's day one, so you love to get there early, see what everyone's about, all the energy. And, yeah, the players came out. You could tell that they were excited. You know, we asked them on Thursday about this offseason. A lot of them said they're just excited to get out there. And, you know, it's been a long offseason for a lot of them. You know, a lot of them are transfers. A lot of them they were on the team last year. Obviously, this was a 4-8 season, and they're eager to wipe the slate, you know, get on the field, redeem themselves in the Coliseum and such, and they'll get a chance to, obviously, September 3rd against Rice. But just a lot of high energy and a lot of guys excited. Obviously, no pads, you know, still got to get through that acclimation, but, you know, guys were excited to be out there.
Yeah, and if you watched our instant analysis or followed our coverage in the spring, by the way, if you're not a member of USCFootball.com, 50% off right now, so go over and do it. Annual membership, 24/7 Sports. Go do it. It's great. But it's about the same kind of coverage you're going to be able to get for the fall, which we weren't sure until about a week or so ago when they announced this. But we can watch the first 20, 30 minutes of practice. Actually kind of a long time today. It was not bad. And then we have to leave, and then we can come back and do interviews. Today was only Lincoln Riley, so we got to hear from him today. We didn't hear from him last night or very much last night. But, you know, we get to check out some of the new players out there. I got to see Jordan Addison catching some balls, which was nice. You see a guy like Eric Gentry just standing out, number 18 out there.
6'6", just a tree out there. And it's obviously interesting body type for the inside linebacker position, but there he was, you know, 6'6", about 210, 20 pounds, you know, working with those inside linebackers, which has a lot of depth now. So that was the interesting thing for me to see, especially on defense, because I focused mainly on that side of the ball. There was a lot more depth. You know, the cornerbacks had a lot of depth, safety had a lot of depth, defensive line had a lot of depth, and linebackers now as well. So a lot fuller across the board on depth chart for defense.
For sure, and just even from the spring, it looks different. There was guys that were injured that we didn't get to see, but most everybody was out there. One of the new players, Bobby Haskins, we didn't get to see, but Lincoln Riley mentioned afterwards that there's players with taking classes right now. He could be one of those, so we're not really sure what was going on there. But it did, like you said, it looks a lot deeper than what we saw even in the spring.
Yeah, and then pretty much when Lincoln said that they were pretty healthy going into camp, and you saw that with guys who went out and were practicing, you know, guys that were banged up last season or last spring and didn't really get to play at the end. You know, Xavier Alford, Michael Jackson, Kobe Pepe. There was a bunch of names that were out, you know, dinged up and stuff, and all those guys practiced today. The only three people that were out really were QB Mo Hassan. You know, he's still coming off that Achilles injury. He was out there in a jersey, but he did not practice. Carson Tabarucci, as Lincoln mentioned, was only going to be the really only new guy that was limited. He did not have a jersey on. He did some rehab. And then obviously Zion Branch, you know, who we kind of talked about on Thursday, because he didn't really mention him as being injured, but he was out there with the big bulky brace, you know, walking like a guy who did suffer a significant knee injury. So doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon. So that's something to monitor. But he was out there at practice, and those three guys were watching from the sidelines.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player. It's a big loss for sure. But, yeah, we didn't expect to see him out there. And the fact that he could barely walk around with that knee brace, you didn't expect much. As far as the morning practices go, I did ask Lincoln Riley what he likes about them. And it's kind of interesting because some coaches have morning practice philosophies where, like, Chip Kelly always does morning practices. For Lincoln, it just seemed more like, you know, like we want to mix it up. We want to try a different time. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my theory going into it as to why they had some morning practices, some afternoon. It was just to keep these guys on their toes. You know, you don't want to get them too much into a routine. You want to keep them up. You want to move it around, you know, keep them on their toes because it's college football. Anything can happen, especially in a game on Saturday. So that was just a little bit of his philosophy, just, you know, mixing up a little bit. And I'm okay with it. You know, we're going to get out of here at like noon, no traffic. We're probably going to take some naps later. So it's nice. I like it.
I do like it. That's one of the things I kind of harped on before because it seemed like And then the fans kind of felt this like year after year, like the Clay Helton regime, sorry to mention, but it just, there was like the same thing always, this was the plan in August. It's going to be the plan in in September and October. It just kind of always went through. And I like that it's getting, mixed up a little bit. And I feel like when we talked to the players yesterday, and then when we get to talk to them again, next practice we'll be able to go to is Monday. They're going to have 3 practices at the Coliseum, and Monday night we'll be able to go there. But it seemed like, the accountability thing always comes up. But it did seem like they were just always not sure what to expect, and you're keeping them on your toes. And I feel like that's going to get the team, and you're always on the balls of your feet. You're not kind of sitting back on your heels.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, these are kids. You want to keep them engaged, keep them, just don't put them in the same thing every time. And you also mentioned that, this season they're going to be playing a lot of different kickoff times, so it's nice to give them that variety and get them used to that. And also looking ahead, obviously for the Big Ten season, it'll be a little bit of a head start in terms of, being up early. They'll be used to that. This program will be. Yeah,
a lot of early games and stuff. He did address the punter situation. Was asked about that again. No real answers, I guess, except whoever's on the team right now. But it sounds like there's an opportunity to maybe bring somebody in for this season.
Yeah, basically said we feel okay about it, but if we have the opportunity, we're going to try to bring someone in. And it sounded like they had someone in mind to bring in, so I wouldn't be shocked if we see a new face here in fall camp at some point. But he didn't seem that concerned about it. But I mean, how concerned can you be about punting? When you have other things to worry about. But punting only matters until it matters. So we're going to see how that looks. I know a lot of people weren't really happy with the spring punting and the spring game, but, still got time. And I know it's not like the sexiest thing to worry about, but I think a lot of fans are happy that their biggest concern right now is punting, finding a punter. So he did seem to think that there was a plan in place, and it sounds like they have something cooking to help out that position and bring in some depth.
Some of the longer-time USC fans remember Tom Malone, who was an All-American punter. Didn't get enough punts one year. I think it was 2004 or 5, because the offense scored too much, so he didn't get enough punts to qualify for. So you hope it's a situation like that. You were here like almost 6 o'clock or so. Like probably I was getting up, like getting ready to get in the car, and you were already here. What did you see in those early moments before practice really got started at 7?
Yeah, it was pretty dead on campus outside of me and then the security guards, who helped them cross the pathway. It was pretty quiet. I was a little surprised because I got here about 6 a.m. I was at the tunnel by 6:08, and I was surprised by how quickly the first person came out, because I thought I at least had 20 minutes until someone came out. Do you want to guess who came out first? It was a coach. Little trivia, I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay. It was Kyle Mcdonald. He was first one out. He's very friendly with the security guys, said good morning. He seemed in a good mood. And then the running backs quickly followed him. Travis Dye, Austin Jones, Darren Barlow, and Rayleigh Brown, who kind of had like a freshman moment because he was trying to put on his jersey, running after the guy. So he kind of felt like a true freshman kind of deal. But I've noticed that the running backs have been the earliest group consistently. Used to be the specialist. Now it's the running back. So that position is out there early. But everyone just seemed really, really excited. Everyone's saying good morning. It's not Pads Day. I think we'll see a little bit more excitement for Pads Day. But I think everyone was just excited to finally be on the field again, after a long summer. And, season's less than a month away, so I think they're ready.
It's crazy counting down to Rice. I asked about Jordan Addison, and he's like, it's the first time you get to see him out there. Impressive. I think he was pretty. Sometimes you're like, the guy won the Biletnikoff, and there people are kind of taking a more subdued attitude. But a lot of people are asking about the 5-star incoming freshman running back Rayleigh Brown. Like his name came up like one of the first questions today.
Yeah, we talked about him yesterday. Everyone was super complimentary of him. He's got juice. Called him a jitterbug, one of the most dynamic athletes they've ever been around. So a lot of praise for him. But Lincoln said he's not quick to play freshman. So they got to get that. They got to showcase that. Obviously in practice, you're a freshman going to college football. There's an adjustment period. So he's got to get through that. But you can tell he's got a different kind of speed. That was something Lincoln alluded to, and that's saying a lot for a guy who's seen a lot of speed on his offenses. So I'm sure, as I mentioned yesterday, if he's making plays and he's, it's clicking for him with this offense, I feel like they're going to find ways to get the ball to that guy because he's special. And when you saw him come out, he's not the biggest guy. He's small but mighty. But man, he's what would you call it?
He's yoked.
Yes, he's yoked for a little guy. So, and as he said, it's hard to evaluate running backs. Not until the pads come on, because obviously that's a position where you're hitting the holes, you're taking on defenders, stuff like that. So we'll get more evaluation from him once those pads come on. But it seems like early bright future for Rayleigh Brown here.
Michael Jackson looked pretty yoked to me. Wearing number 9 now because Caleb Williams has the 13. But Chris is saying he's always been yoked.
I think it's just the juju bump. Juju was swollen at number 9. I think he just gets the juju bump with that jersey. And another thing, just because Jordan Addison sort of low key when he came out, I almost missed him, but it's hard to miss the number 3 because obviously you haven't seen that number in a long time coming out of the tunnel. So that's the first thing I was like, that doesn't look right. Oh, that's Jordan Addison. So I quickly got a video of him. So yeah, nice to see. It's just so much talent has been coming out of that wide receiver room, and with Caleb Williams and Miller Moss and this offense. And even Lincoln talked about the quarterbacks a little bit in terms of how they did. He said, they had sort of an up and down day. They had made some spectacular throws and then some throws that didn't connect. And he kind of harpened it to obviously being the first day back, got some rust a little bit. You've only been doing summer and stuff, but also like the level of play has stepped up with the opposite side of the ball in the defense. The windows are getting smaller. The defense is getting it a little bit more. So the offense is having, to make better plays because the defense is stepping up their play too. So I think that was a little bit of what he was saying in terms of, that's why the quarterbacks didn't have a perfect day because the defense is giving them fits at times. So I think that was a good sign.
Did everyone go in the right gate this time?
Yes, everyone went in the right gate. There was no Gow gate. What is it?
Go gate.
Go gate.
Goo gate. Yeah.
Go gate. Like what? No.
The Goo gate. Yeah. Yes. Marv Goo. If you remember, Caleb Williams went through the wrong gate last time, and Chris put the video up, and it kind of went a little viral there on the TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok if you're not.
At the Peristyle. Any final thoughts, Chris, from day 1 of fall camp?
No, I think it was a really good day. They got out there pretty healthy, and they look pretty healthy going in. So just excited to see when the shells come on and the pads come on. It is hot right now, so I'm excited to go home and get some air conditioning. But yeah, I think it was a good day 1 and kickoff to the Lincoln Riley era for fall camp.
Sweet. All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to the opener against Rice on September 3rd over at the Coliseum. For Chris Trevino, I am Ryan Abraham. Thanks for watching Instant Analysis. Make sure you check out USCfootball.com for more.